Statistically was one of probably your less productive games, but in the end you made one clutch play after another. I guess we talked a lot about the toughness of this team. Was this another example of just kind of the makeup mentally and physically of this group?
Yeah, I mean, give Ohio State a lot of credit for the way that they changed things up in the second half and really made us uncomfortable and sped us up. And I thought we did a great job early in that first half playing off 2 feet and going in there. We got a couple and ones just by pump fakes, getting them off their feet. And then the second half, I really thought we got sped up. And we've been pretty good against pressure this year, but it bothered us tonight. There's a lot of things we need to learn from this as we go back and watch the film and prepare for our next game at Indiana. But, when they go up 1, I thought our resiliency, our resolve, and found a way to go on a 9-0 run to go up 8, and then they go back on their run and have a chance to tie it there at the end after a couple missed opportunities for our guys. But again, I'm proud of them for finding a way. The key we talked about going into this one, same thing that happened at Illinois, was getting off to a good start. We get up double digits at Illinois. We have a little bit of a cushion when they go on their run, and then we made the plays down the stretch, and that's exactly what happened again today. So just really proud of the guys. That's a really good team. Jake's doing a great job. That's the third game they've lost by 1 possession, and obviously we know that could flip the other way very easily. So I was really impressed with the environment, the crowd out there tonight. But our guys found a way to make the winning plays there at the end.
Fred, going off of that, how do you feel like just leading into the game and then tonight, just how the guys are handling being the ones with the target on their backs and not sneaking up on anyone anymore?
Yeah, we're not going to look at it that way, Justin. We're just going to go out and prepare the same way, and we've got a big one coming up. Our guys, again, in the locker room, they're pretty stoic for the most part, and we've got a day tomorrow that's very important. It's a recovery day. We've had two-day preps with the last couple with Michigan State in this one today, and we need to have a great day tomorrow and then have 3 good days of prep heading into maybe as talented an offensive team as there is in our league. And it's, again, these guys have been professional. That's the biggest thing that I give them credit for throughout this stretch is nobody's getting too high. And if things turn the other way, I'm confident that they won't get too low. So that's what it takes. But great teams find a way to win these games, and I'm proud of how the guys have responded to this point. And we're pretty much at the halfway point now, and we got a lot of work in front of us.
It's kind of an eventful last few days for Braden, for him to kind of move past that and make the plays that he did, especially in the biggest moments. What does that say about his kind of growth and what he learned over these last few days?
It's a good learning lesson for Braden for what has happened and what transpired. I'm proud of him for reaching out to Jeremy Fears, and they communicated and talked it out, and sounds like they've moved past it. He talked to Coach Izzo on the phone last night, and Coach was great and told him to use this as a learning opportunity. And it's been a lot. There's been a lot of talking to Braden over the last couple days to not put himself in that type of position. And this is a great learning moment for Braden, for our team, for everybody, what can happen when something like that gets out. And he was wrong. He knows he was wrong. And, we moved past it as a group. He apologized to the team. We can't let that happen again, but I did not think that we let that distract us as we prepared for this. So, as much as we need to learn from this as a group, our guys went out and found a way to put it behind us. And, there's still some things that, we'll talk to Braden about as we move forward to make sure this doesn't happen again. But, as far as the game and the possessions there late, we ran a little isolation play at the elbow. Ohio State was pressuring us so much. Sometimes when you play against that type of defense, you just have to put it in somebody's hands and let them go make a play. And we did it to Braden tonight, and it paid off for us.
You knew Bruce Thornton was going to get his eventually 2 points in the first half, and I think 16 total. Just what do you guys do well defensively against him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a load. He's as good as there is in our league, as good as there is in the country as far as being a 3-level scorer. He's so good. He's a pit bull getting into the paint and using his body, and he's a great does a great job with his pump fakes, getting to the free throw line, and then his ability to shoot the mid-range shot and the three-point shot. He's really a throwback player. I think he's got a hell of a future ahead of him in the NBA. So, we did a great job in the first half, but, knowing he was going to get it going. Mobley, same thing with his three-point shot. I thought when that one bounced and hit every part of the rim, that's generally not a good sign. But, again, our guys found a way to get a couple big stops late.
Yeah, in the second half, you talked about the changes. How much of it was you guys settling for threes, and them just defending better?
Yeah, again, they really sped us up, and that led to not only the threes that I thought were contested, but also the plays in the paint where we didn't play off 2 feet. We got a little lucky on one where Price was going 1,000 miles an hour, and almost just fell out of bounds. And again, that was due to the change in the game plan that Jake made. So give Ohio State credit for that. And then again, I thought Cale gave us a couple good possessions of pace. Once we got our pace back, we got a couple baskets, we got our movement, we got the ball shifted side to side, and that's when the attacks were there. It wasn't early when they were loading to the ball, but again, it was just the fact that they sped us up as much as they did, I thought affected our efficiency.
Yeah. Fred, you talked about the importance of getting off to a good start, especially on the road in this league. All 8 of your guys that played in the first half had at least 3 points. When you're playing in these kinds of games, how much do you need that maybe ancillary production from guys who aren't going to be your leading scorer every night, but can chip in a little bit and take some load off of them early?
Yeah, I'm not sure what ancillary means, but the balance of our guys I thought was really good there in the first half. That's a joke. I do know what ancillary means, but I thought again the movement, the playing off 2 feet, the start, the thrust, the edge that we were playing with. That's what got us out to that lead. And again, we're gonna have to continue on with that, not only on the road, but you got to get off to good starts to get your crowd into it at home. And if teams go on a run, you got to put it behind you and respond. And I think you saw both teams, our start, Ohio State's response, resolve, and then we found a way at the end to get our composure back.
Sam did a couple threes in that first half. How important is it just to get him confident again from behind the arc?
Yeah, he's been shooting it well in practice, and he's putting a ton of time in. And he just, for Sam to knock down a couple, that takes pressure off a Rink. It takes pressure off a Price. Jamarcus hit one early. So, BK, I thought, cut really well in the first half, especially on those baseline drives. He slashed out of the 45 spot and got to the rim. So, early on, I thought we were popping. I thought our offense was really good. And then, again, it stalled. And Ohio State had a lot to do with that. But, yeah, those other guys can knock down threes. That helps us in a big way.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.